Without a doubt.
What do I do when I walk in? Okay.
Okay.
How should I walk? How should I dress? I want to know how I go onto this lot and get, because I know I'm going to get, because they have to make their money. I'm trying to get, like, you know, I'm not trying to get gang.
You don't have to gift.
I know I got to give it up. Oh, I don't. Okay.
You don't have to gift. This is what you got to do. All right.
Okay.
Now, first things first. How's your credit?
My credit is outstanding, sir.
It's outstanding?
It's outstanding.
Then you're all set. If your credit's outstanding, then you have one of two options.
I had one issue with Bally's Total Fitness, but we fixed that.
Any Columbia House issues back in the day?
Pat Benatar CD.
All right, gotcha.
Cassette tape that I did not.
I didn't.
Oh, that's
not really a penny, you know.
It is.
But if you have good credit, okay. First of all, I would recommend to anyone to finance through a credit union first, or like e-loan or something like that. Don't finance through the dealership. Because
why?
Don't finance through the dealership because you only want to deal with one variable with the dealership, the price of the car. You don't want to deal with monthly payments, with like down payments, with this, with that.
Because then they're pulling a train on you, right? They're pulling a train. And the other guy comes in, he lubes up his and now he's in there.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. Okay. So if you finance through the dealership, that's like somebody's coming in for sloppy.
That's when you can get. I'm not saying completely don't. I'm saying try to avoid it. If you say you have great credit, which you do, sometimes the dealerships will say, "Wow, we'll give you 2%, or we'll give you 1.5%."
And my response there should be,
"Well,
you, buddy.
Well, you want it in writing, man."
No, actually, sir, thank you for offering that. I got to be better at this. Thank you for offering that. I'm going to go through my own credit union.
Oh, you don't have to kiss their ass. These guys are scumbags,
dude,
man.
I don't know how to do it either way.
They're regular dudes.
I do everything 100%.
Just say thanks for not being a... I would just say that.
I'm literally writing this down, dude.
Put that.
Take the Snoop Dogg approach to buying cars. Man, suck my dick.
Suck my dick. Man, your financing can lick my balls.
You have 2%.
Then the other people in the showroom who are buying cars, woo!
Your loan officer is a prick.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I don't know if you saw that clip.
It's good. It's good.
I don't know if you saw that clip.
Nice, yeah.
Say salesman. He's got it down. No, it's great. Everything's good. You're still going to buy. So I walk in. All right. Don't go. So you go through their credit union. My own.
This is what you do. You go online. You figure out what car you want to buy before you even go to the dealership, right? Mm-hmm. Then you go online and you find out how much this car's being sold. You print up copies of this.
How do I do that? Okay, I go on there within 2 seconds. I'm watching a slap fight on YouTube. Right? So you have to guide me. You go on, you find out how much it costs. Where do I go to that? The honestly top secret GM?
Nah, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Honestly, if you put any make model of a car, a billion dealership websites are going to pop up, and you find out all these prices. So you come armed with that stuff. You have that right there.
Should I come in with like a manila envelope? Would that scare you? As a salesman? If I started pulling out papers, going, well, according to my facts.
If Bill Burr came in with a Trapper Keeper, I'd be scared.
According to Wikipedia, all right, so you find out. Well, first of all, man, I want to be able to drive the car to figure it out. So should I go jerk someone around first and drive a couple of cars?
Okay, if you're gonna do that, that's perfectly fine. You're in the best scenario because you're not trading in a car. You don't own a car now. You're golden. They love when they see someone trade in because that's when they get screwed and that's when they can steal your keys.
Well, for the people who are listening, how do they? It's like a little shell game, right?
Oh, it's exactly
because they make you think like, wow, he's giving me $8,000 for this hunk of shit.
Totally.
And then I got this Winnebago for $180,000.
Don't ever trade in at a dealership. Never ever do that. Sell your car privately. It's a pain in the ass to sell your car privately. So many more steps. It's so hard.
How does the scam work? How does the scam work?
They're gonna pay you so much less with the shell game, like you said. They're gonna say that they're offering you, $10-15 for your car, but then they're gonna lump it all together, and then they're just gonna move it around. These guys are finance wizards. They're gonna move it all around, make it look like you got that much money for your car.
I've talked to car salesmen, no offense to you, but these people are not wizards.
No, they're not. The finance guys.
The finance guys.
The salesmen aren't at all.
Because my brother used to be in sales, and he hated car salesmen. He used to look at them like how we look at like a prop comic.
Right.
He hated like they were just above like a shoe salesman.
Tell the thing about The keeping your keys. You were telling me something about that.
This is the biggest. I worked for a huge scam company. The company I worked for has since got closed down because they had horrible practices. One of the things they used to do is people would come in, they'd look around at a car, and they'd be like, "Yeah, I'm kind of interested in that." And the sales manager would say, "Hey, why don't you give us your keys so we can take a look at your car for a trade-in?" And a guy would say, "Well, I don't really want to trade in my car. I want to give it to my daughter or my niece, or I want to sell it privately." He's like, "Yeah, you never know. We could give you. You really don't know." So he'd take the keys, and the guy would go look for it for 2 seconds, and then the guy wouldn't want the deal, and he'd be like, "All right, I'm out of here. Give me my keys." He'd be like, "Oh, we don't have your keys. Your keys are in the garage. Your keys are here. Your keys are there." And meanwhile, the salespeople would continue to stroke this guy, and so many times, they'd bring in a more hotshot salesperson on him, and he'd roll.
Dude, that's when you got to go Steven Seagal. You just got to start beating people up like, "Dude, give me my." You can say at that. Give me the keys.
You can say they let you say then. Yeah, absolutely.
Did any? I mean, how many people? How many out of 10 people that you would do that to would go, "Don't quit me. Give me my keys right now," and then they'd have to just go, "Okay, sorry."
Very few people would do that. The thing is
if you say don't quit me, give me my keys, are you getting your keys immediately?
I would say if you say "don't with me, give me my keys," yeah, you probably get your keys.
How could you not see that scam going on? How could you be that numb that you wouldn't see what was happening there?
I don't know.
Is it true too? I had another buddy that was a car salesman, and he told me about the devaluing of the trade-in, where they would call the main office or whatever and talk about the trade-in, and he said everything that every attribute that your car had, he would just go yes. So they would do this question and answer thing. So the guy on the other end of the phone, I'm on the phone,
right.
You're trading in. The guy on the other phone goes, "Does it have an air conditioner?" "Yep." "Does it have the?" "Yep." But anytime he said, "Does it have something it doesn't have? Does it have a CD player?" No, it does not have a CD player." And he would emphasize everything it didn't have on, out loud to make you feel self-conscious about your car and make it feel like it was more of a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a good scam.
But if it did have something, you would just glaze over it. And I was like, wow, that's such a, dude, that's filthy.
It is. It's rough. It's rough.
What's the biggest, and after what's the biggest, when you sold a car? What's the hardest you ever owe somebody? How much money? What's the most amount of money that you made?
One of the worst things I ever did. One of the things I feel really, about. All right, this
He's
kid,
not even making eye contact. I'm gonna love this story.
It's really
all right.
bad. It's really.
Is this gonna be what keeps you out of heaven?
This guy came in here. He was in his mid-20s, and he had an older Thunderbird, right? He had an older Thunderbird, and he wanted to get a brand new Mustang, right? He wanted to get a brand new Mustang GT, the whole thing. And anyway, so this guy, he was upside down.
Get a brand new. This is his dream. I like how you had a little attitude with it.
Yeah. Well, this guy was upside down in his trade, meaning that he owed more money on this Thunderbird that he had than it was worth. Right. So he was screwed, right? So he couldn't get him in this Mustang, no way. So what my dealer told me to tell him, what my manager told me to tell him, he says, "Listen, tell him that if he gets a cosigner, right, we can put him in an escort. He drives it around for 6 months, comes back, and gets his Mustang." Of course, that's right, because you tell him, yeah, you drive it around for 6 months, your credit's going to go up because you co-signed. So what he ended up doing was he brought his grandmother down there, right? His grandmother co-signed on the loan.
Was her hand shaking as she did it?
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I felt horrible about it. His grandmother's there co-signing on this loan, right? And so now, for 6 months, he's making payments on this Thunderbird as well as this Escort, thinking he's going to get good credit. And from what I'm told, in a lot of these scenarios, oftentimes they don't even process the cosign loan.
So wait a second. He didn't even trade in the Thunderbird. He kept the Thunderbird?
He said, yeah, my manager's like, yeah, just make 2 car payments. But the thing is, he wasn't making 2 car payments. It was on his grandmother's name. He was just she was a cosigner.
Oh, see, I totally missed that.
Yeah.
So what happened? Did he come back in 6 months?
So, apparently, I didn't deal with him in 6 months, but apparently he came back, and he must have came back in
that's
6
funny.
months.
That's like that chick. You said you were going to call her and you don't, and then all of a sudden she just runs into you in a club. You're like, oh God.
Yeah.
That's that guy.
Here we go.
Oh Jesus.
Here we go.
Without a doubt.
Hey, I'm going to lunch, man. You handle this one.
I remember I got a job at a movie theater, and it was so like diabolical because I was, you know, you go to the movies and it's like everybody complains about the prices of everything. So I was there the first night, and I'm in the back, and the guy showed me how to make the pretzels with cheese dip, whatever. And he's like, "Hey, you just take a spoonful of these pretzel nuggets and throw them in the thing." And I was like, "Is that enough? How many?" He goes, "Hey, dump two in. I don't give a. You'd have to buy a whole bucket of this to get what you're paying for out there, these idiots, right?" And I was like, Jesus Christ, man! Like,
Wow.
it's so funny, man. When you
Joe
finally
just
get behind the curtain.
compared pretzels at the movies from getting over making 2 car payments. That was a nice
My
little
grandma
segue there.
had to co-sign
Translucent
with me.
analogy.
Yeah, to go down and buy a Dr. Pepper.